Okay, my name is C.R. Hodson. We're at the Portola Town Center. It's end of December, and we got the baseball field, outfield in, some of the infield fines in. The next step is to get the backstop and the fence in, and get the rest of this grading done once it dries out, and the rest of the base rock for this walkway. I think the grading part out here, this is where I'm happy with. It's the buildings. I wish we were a little farther along with the buildings. But we're getting the roof on, or the building paper on the community hall completely today, so that's like a big challenge, and getting them on the library, really concentrating the framers onto the library now. Just the community hall, they're going around the outside, buttoning up the plywood. We have some of the windows here, not all of them. The next step there is to put the building paper on, which is really watertight to plywood. The roofers are just starting to put the building paper on this half of the roof. So it will be 99% waterproof. Any wind might blow some water when it's raining onto the building. Just kind of the rough framers are buttoning up the outside face of these. And that's about it. I mean, on this. So we're trying to get them off of this building onto the library.
No, I'm sorry. Tell me again.
This is community hall. And that's what the wood framers have been just concentrating on getting that roof done. And that's like, this is a more complicated building than the rest of it. Which is complicated. There's a lot of different pitches, there's a lot of different roof levels, there's a lot of different detailing. So it's
Is the community hall the largest building?
Yeah. It's still not huge. I mean, it's still not that big. There's 2 classrooms in it, and there's 2 big rooms. That's it. Bathrooms and some storage. It's got a high ceiling. Do you want to go inside there?
Let's go.
The winterization that we're standing on right now is the ground up CMU block from the buildings that we couldn't use for Class 2 base rock. So it's just winterization material. It's about 90% of the site, and it works really well. It's compacted, and they're not sinking. Any of the areas that people are sinking in, we weren't able to put it in because there was material or a pile of dirt there.
So we're kind of standing on the old town center.
Yeah, on the block. It's the CMU part. Because you can't, and there's a little dirt on top of it, but see how hard it is?
Yeah.
Big trucks can pull on it, they don't sink down. It works really well. We got crushed into that size. Minimum, that's the big size, biggest size. A lot of it turned to powder.
Here's the old town center.
Just where we do a test of they're not the right size windows, and they're not the right windows that go in those openings. Those go up in the 3rd story. But it's just giving us an idea how it all fits together, because these steel columns support the wind load, and there's really not a lot of tolerances there. So it's kind of we try to do a lot of mock-ups just so that we don't have mistakes, but we always end up with mistakes anyway. So this is really the finished look. Our real worry is that there's not a lot of room between that steel column and the back piece of this wood.
Right.
There's like a 1/16 of an inch. So that was our big thing, to make sure that would all come together. And it looks like it's going to work.
Oh, it's nice.
We just got to get the right windows. These windows go in another spot.
But these are windows that will be used.
This is the type of window, yeah. And it's not a big windowsill, it's just a little windowsill. So nobody's going to be able to put coffee in here. The ceiling in here is pretty. This is one of the classrooms, and the ceiling is really high. And it's a T-bar ceiling that follows the rake of that roof. There's like a soffit right there, and the windows go full height, all the way to the bottom of that. So you get the open look. The idea is to get as much natural light in as they can, and a high ceiling.
So I mean, with a high ceiling like this, I mean, you've got these great windows and you'll get the nice light, but what does it do to the acoustics?
It's going to be an acoustical ceiling, so it should be okay. A T-bar ceiling, with the drop-in tiles. Mm-hmm. So it shouldn't hurt you. If it was like a sheetrock ceiling, then you'd have some echoing problems. But with that type of ceiling, there's no problems. These are little storage rooms. That's a little one, and then there's another little one here. And this is a big storage room. This this ceiling here is going to be a slope ceiling also, but this is that, I don't know if I showed you the sample of that wood. There's a wood slat ceiling system where we salvage the wood for the whole building.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to use it on this ceiling, so it's really fancy. Those big windows with big double floors, so they should get a little light in here. It's a challenge. We haven't done much here. They should start getting over here next week if everything goes right. Slag, cement that's in here.
Yeah.
That is the big thing the architect was doing, is he replaced 70% of the cement with slag. And the concrete here comes up to like 7,000 pounds. It's really strong. I mean, it's designed at 3, and it comes up way over 7,000. And it's so that's what the architect did here. Okay. It's part of the lead stuff. It's hard though. And the neat thing is that, I don't know if you've ever been around concrete, but when you pour it and you strip it, the next day, it's really hot. I mean, it's like you touch it, it's hot.
It's hot? Yeah.
This stuff isn't hot because it's not cement, it's slag. And slag is a recycled thing from making steel. We have another job that TBI is doing where they had a green, it's supposed to be their like lead mix.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it, but it's slag and fly ash, and it doesn't come up to strength. Different mix than this. And I was telling my boss, I go, man, this stuff is really strong. I mean, it's like almost too strong, you know? And he's like, what do you mean? We're using a mix. We're having a lot of problems. Like, it's supposed to be at 30 days to 3,000 pounds. It's like 2,800, which is not very good. You didn't have some food.
Oh, this is the library.
Yeah. So they're trying to keep it so you can still see the mountains a little bit. I guess, I don't know.
But you get the community center that's kind of in front of it, right?
Yeah. But that was their sight line thing, that's why it's so low. It's pretty low.
So, how much of this is going to be glass where you can
This will all be glass, full height. These are big windows. There's just a little wall underneath it. And then there's windows along there that are 5 feet high or something. They're up a little higher. The bottom of the window is the bottom of that block out in that concrete wall.
I see, okay.
This steel here has to be right on. We haven't nailed it off, but it has to be perfect because when those windows came in, I mean, if we really looked at those windows, there's a shim space on each side a little bit, and all these are equal all the way along. So you can see they're putting the paper on the roof, so that's like a really big deal. That's huge.